And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And it is SA Under-20 time versus Australia in the Under-20 Rugby Championship. And what a good tournament it's going to be. The inaugural Under-20 Rugby Championship taking place between South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, and Argentina. And this is now the official fourth game of the tournament. And we've just seen New Zealand hammer Argentina earlier today. And that's an early mistake coming from Michael Damon, which will allow Australia to have a scrum just outside this Junior Block 22. I think it actually might even be a penalty for offside. So an early good start here from Australia, and well, it was a nice early carry by about to be the Tlakane. So it should be a fun game to watch. You're obviously busy watching potentially the next generation of big players for South Africa. Future Boks on display here, and it's a very rotated side. So we'll go through the side in just a bit and sort of look at who's who and where the changes have come, because there are plenty of changes for the Junior Boks, with Bafana Nhleko opting to make quite a few switches when it comes to a side. I think it's a good thing. I think that we need to look at the entire squad, and we need to look at the at exactly sort of where everybody is with regards to the U20 Championship, which is coming up in the rest of the year. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what sort of side we put out against Argentina, which I think will probably closer to the kind of side we'll see in the the Under-20 World Rugby Championship, because I think that it's going to be one of those sort of tournaments. This one where it's going to be two sort of slightly different teams, and then kind of the best team. An early scrum penalty for Australia, not a good start this for the Junior Boks, and yeah, I think for me this is all about preparing for the World Championship. So I know a lot of people seem to say, no, we have to win this. We have to prove our dominance. I don't really look at it like that. I think this is a preparation tournament. I think we don't get enough junior rugby, and this is a competitive junior rugby. Often we get a couple of friendlies, a couple of weird little tours and stuff, but we don't really get a tournament like this. And for me, I think this is the perfect precursor to the World Under-20 Championship, which takes place in South Africa later this year. In terms of conditions today, it is rainy once again. The conditions in the first game looked a lot better, but towards the end of the game, the rain did start to fall, and it looks like it stopped raining, but still looks pretty wet underfoot, but definitely a lot better than what we saw last week, when there were puddles and puddles and puddles of water on the ground. But Australia on the front foot here, and they've got a rolling more, which is looking pretty good. And going on around the corner goes Ottavio Tupolotto. So on the front foot here, Australia looking to try and be the first to score in today's game. They got outclassed by Argentina last week at home. It looks like Tian Jacobs might have the ball. No. Carried now by Nick Bloomfield. So to start this so far from Australia, already looking a lot better than they did last week. And I thought that the Junior Boks defended very well last week, and being asked to do a lot of defending earlier on, as the captain for Australia, Tony McPherson, carries that in order. Now, skip pass right over to the side. Lots of ground to cover, and a bit of a slip there from Michael Damon, but he managed to get up and make the tackle on Angus Staniforth. And there was a penalty advantage being played for Australia. They do go back for the penalty. So, in terms of the Junior Boks side, the only players who have kept their spots in the side are Tian Jacobs, the number 8, Asad Moos, and Lita Bester, as well as Michael Damon and Lorenzo Julius. Just 5 players keeping their spots in the starting lineup. It's a brand new front row of Mbasa, Michael Bela, Ethan Bester, and Reno Herbst. But Tobile Tlakane shifts into the lock. He started in the number 7 jersey last week, was absolutely tremendous. He's shifted back into the second row. Jeff Van Heerden, the Bulls lock and sort of potential future star, captains the side. Dion Fuller, Keanu Katsia come inside at number 6 and 7 to partner Tian Jacobs. Thurden Williams will pass Asad Moos in that halfback pairing. Another good-looking rolling more this from Australia. The Junior Bok pack struggling early on here from the power of the Australians. It looks like balls come down. Is available. They go down the right-hand side. It's a good tackle that from Asad Moos, and a nice tackle being made on Quee Sharples, but another penalty for Australia. So collapsing the more is the core, and the Junior Boks under a lot of pressure here. The rest of the team, by the way, no, in fact, it's actually just they managed to bail it out. It's actually a turnover ball. It's a really good tackle. This from Asad Moos. He managed to make that tackle and bring him into touch. So we've got a new inside centre in Philip Albert van Niekerk, partnering up Lorenzo Julius. Bruce Sherwood dropping down to the bench. And the big wing, also centre, playing on the wing at the moment. Joshua Bull, who made that incredible hit last week, starts in number 14 jersey. So only now line up an opportunity for the the Junior Boks. We'll get there eventually. They're on the 5-meter line, defensive line for them. Baz, you're very negative at the moment. I mean, Argentina let the competition down, basically handed New Zealand the cup down. I mean, they lost. What do you want them to do? They hammered Australia last week. So, I mean, technically, we beat Australia and we beat Argentina. We can also win the trophy. We drew to New Zealand. So, I wouldn't say they've handed them the trophy when we've just got to do our part. I mean, in theory, you know, we want to win this competition. We should have beaten the All Blacks. We came into a draw, which means that it's ours to lose. Really, you go and beat Australia today. You beat Argentina on Sunday, and we can win. Gold Sports saying hi from New Zealand. What's your predictions for this match? I think it should be pretty. I'd like to see the Junior Boks put Australia away quite comfortably. I think, you know, watching Australia last week, I thought they were pretty poor, and whilst the Blitzboks, I'm going to say Blitzboks all day, aren't I? The Junior Boks, Baby Boks, have made a lot of changes. I think there's a lot of sort of power here. I think it is one of the strongest SA Under-20 sides we've had in a while. So hopefully we'll start to see that. And even despite some rotations, I'm hoping to see a good quality of rugby here. So I think that I'd like to see the Junior Boks winning by sort of a 15, 20-point margin. I think that would reflect, you know, where I think we can be. It's a great take there for Italy. Best quick ball jab from Masamus. And that's not forward by, I think it's Makobela. So turnover ball here. And Sharples the ball over the top. And that's really, really well done. The bounce of the ball just doing Vernon Williams there. So not the best of starts here for the A720. Struggling to get outside their half. It was a great competition in the air that from Bester. But then being pinned back. So not really winning the territory battle at the moment. It's a good take there from Tion Jacobs. Back on the outside. In terms of players to watch, Shirks, for me, that's one of my favorite things when it comes to the Baby Boks. The two locks for South Africa, two quite literally very big players, and I expect them to be heavily involved in URC campaigns and the stuff. Oh, that's a massive forward pass, surely. It has indeed been called by the referee. Trying to go for that long pass out to the left-hand side. Very, very clearly forward. So it should be a scrum. Yeah, there was a scrum penalty for Australia in that first scrum, so the likes of Makobela and Reno Herbst need to step up for this scrum. A lot of changes, as I said. No Ethan Porthen, who was the South African captain. He's carrying an injury, and he drops out of the side completely. So it's a brand new front row. Actually, it's a brand new tight five, really, because whilst Batabile Kakani did play last week, he was in the flank jersey number 7. Now he drops to the number 4. Very much seems to be the enforcer type of build. Absolutely massive. Man, and brings a lot of physicality. We saw a couple of big hits from him last week. So very interested to see how he goes in the number 4 jersey compared to the number 7. I really enjoyed his game last week. So he's a prospect to watch. Not as tall as JF Van Heerden. So I think that he'll play a bit more in the number 7 jersey. We have a reset here. Hopefully with better conditions, we'll see a bit of better rugby. Last week, it was very much an arm wrestle, but kind of almost sort of traditional test match rugby because the conditions were so horrendous. Ball is available there for Assad Musi. Goes straight to Van Niekerk. It chips ahead. And that's a perfect kick. Don't know if it's inside the 22 or outside the 22. It is a 50-22. That is inch perfect, that from Van Niekerk. That is really, really good. Just chipping it ahead. And it's landed, I mean, centimeters. I mean, that must have landed about 10 centimeters inside the field, just inside the 22 as well. That's a phenomenal kick. And it'll be a line-out for the Junior Boks on the 22. Need to get this right here as Ethan Bester. And it's gone over the top, but it should fall back to Van Niekerk. So no harm done in the end. Ball is available for South Africa. Now, big carry, but a big hit there coming on Ethan Bester. Turnover ball, yeah, it's knocked on, and it's hacked forward by Tony McPherson, the lock. And a lot of players having to go back here. Michael Damon will win the battle. Got a decent turn of pace. goes to that left boot and does find touch. And that's carried back here, so it will be allowed for Australia. And the rain is really starting to come down now, so it looks like it's back to some pretty awful conditions. What is it with the under-20 rugby? We always seem to be playing in the rain. A lot of that's because they come down to South Africa and they play that under-20 championship down in Stellenbosch during the winter, and then they're always surprised that it's raining. So I never understand that. I never understand why we bother hosting it down in Stellenbosch. It's just such a waste. It's always raining down there. You've got so many different places across the country that you could go and play. You could be playing in Bloem, you could be playing in Joburg, where it'll be nice and dry. But instead, we always go down and play in Stellenbosch, where it rains. The ball's kind of loose there. Not forward is the call. So Australia in the front foot. It's a nice tackle there from Van Niekerk. Australia with ball in hand. And the rain really starting to come down now. It's a big tackle coming from Kiana Kutsia on Nick Bloomfield. Slow ball here for Australia. They shift the ball down the right-hand side. And then that's not forward. So there it is. Now we're starting to see the conditions play a part. First handling area, we had a lot of handling errors last year in that first game between New Zealand and South Africa because it was just simply so wet. And we just seen the ball being spilt there, and I think we're going to see a lot of that today. Can't really see it necessarily with the conditions from the one angle, but as soon as you go to the replays, you see the cameras from behind. That's where you can really see how wet it is. Free kick here for South Africa. So the scrum's going to be a bit of an issue so far early on in this game. And third and Williams, the young Lions fly half. Puts it in the air. That's a really good kick, in fact, right up against the touchline. He's done very well there, has the Australian number 11, which is Angus Staniforth. Australia back inside their own half. Nice big tackle there coming from Bester. Now steps inside, does Cullen Gray. He gets the offload away as well. Good offload there to Ronan Lee. Not too many options there for Gray, so he goes to the boot. Wind is behind them, and that's a great kick. He's found touch outside the 22. So Australia play with the wind behind them, and you can see them putting it to use every single time South Africa goes to the boot. You can see how that ball just hangs up in the air for them. Australia, on the other hand, every single little kick in behind becomes very difficult for South Africa with that wind. This has done really well here to stay in there, standing fourth. He's had a good start to the game so far as the number 11. Right, there goes JF Van Heerden, the captain today. He's played senior rugby for the Bulls already, has JF Van Heerden. So he's a very promising young player. Very, very large for his age. Has in his second season of age group rugby. Was in and around the squad last year. Deep kick that, and good tackle tap that from Vesta. Good chase from the number 11. Ball available. And a very broken up defense. They need to shift here to the Junior Boks. They've got a lot of space out on the left-hand side of Australia. Good tackle that coming from Aslan Moos. And the ball's going not forward. That's a high tackle then on Joshua Bull. So penalty advantage here for the Junior Boks. And they keep it short. Go through Divan Fuller. And now kicked ahead by Asamus, who will find touch. You're wondering where the penalty advantage has gone here. I mean, you just try and sit there and say, I mean, that's not, I mean, we've not gained an advantage when you think we've just kicked a touch, but we won't have the feet to the line out. So, yeah, clearly a high tackle there. So, where's our penalty? Come now, referee, let's wake up a bit here, shall we? So Australia on the front foot. I don't understand how we've lost our penalty advantage. There's a knock-on advantage there, so we're going to have a scrum. I don't understand that. So penalty advantage for a higher tackle. We get through one phase, kick it and touch, and that's apparently advantage over. I mean, we had made 5 meters, but it means that we wouldn't have the feet to the line out. Yeah, very, very strange decision that. And with another knock on, you can see here, here's the conditions. Yeah, it's a great hit there from Hlekane, and then Joshua Bull just lodging the ball in the tackle as well. Big physical presence out on the win there. Joshua Bull played most of his rugby at inside centre or outside centre for UCT in the Varsity Cup. Had a very strong season. We have a reset here at the scrum. Scrum's been a bit shaky so far early on. Had one scrum penalty, a couple of free kicks, nothing too stable. We've yet to have a real competition come scrum time. On the right-hand side, Asan Moos goes to the boots. Needs to try and keep that in and will stay in. Very, very good kick. It threatened to go out in the full, but in the end, he's actually done brilliantly there. Has the scrum off. He's also had a good start to the game. So just playing a bit of a territory battle there, the Junior Boks trying to peg Australia back. No score so far in the opening 15 minutes. Deep there, Joshua Bull underneath it. Battling Sterling Williams. Sterling Williams goes back to the boot. High there. And Best has got that completely wrong. He came too forward. But he's managed to clean up well. And a bit of pressure there, though. So the Junior Boks all the way back inside their own 22. They do manage to secure the ball, though. And on the right-hand side, Makobela. And Moos does find touch, but can't find too many meters there because, yeah, again, kicking into the wind. Now down the short side they go. Good tackle there from Sterling Williams. Nice move there, and Tupoloto was going through, but once again, it's another knock-on coming from Australia. Turnover ball here for the Junior Boks. That's the third handling error coming from Australia. Now, it's JF van Heerden, the captain, who creates a better angle here for Asan Moos. He goes himself. All over the top. Won't find touch. Standing forward underneath. Joshua Bull is leading the charge. Not the best pass. And Lorenzo just coming up, leading the line. They run into Tian Jacobs. Good tackle on it from him. And a couple of... I think that's a bit harsh. I think he's trying to say he's not rolling away, but he wasn't even part of the ruck. First now, kicks deep. Standing forth once again underneath it. But that's another big hit coming from Joshua Ball. He's really making a name for himself with the physicality he brings as the big wing. Deep kick there, and he decides to market there to Sterling Williams. Probably the right idea, just slow things down a little bit. 20 minutes, very much been a territorial battle between the two teams here. Have another look at this hit from Joshua Bull. What happens when you're playing a centre and out on the wing there is you get that physicality. Not a great kick there from Sterling Williams. Just skews off the right hand side of his boot. The man is down here. Right, so looking at potential for our player, I think. I don't think it's that bad. It's a bit of a counter-rack here. So having a review here, I think it's Makubele could be in a bit of trouble here. Looking at the counter-rack. I mean, he's gone pretty low. And so yellow card stuck. I mean, really. Right, it's going to be a turnover ball, penalty for Australia, yellow card for South Africa. I mean, no real need to make that hit whatsoever. Right, so Junior Springboks down to 14 men for the next 10 minutes. That's not going to help anything. Right, so a bit of a break in play here. The player who received that shot is currently receiving treatment. South Africa down to 14 men. So it is Oliver McCrea who will make way. Harvey Cordukes will come on. Not the start that the Junior Springboks wanted to have. So still a bit of extended break of play. So we're halfway through the first half. Still no points. Things are taking a while. Yeah, McRae's going to be going off on a stretcher from the looks of it. So any momentum that's been built up will definitely have been broken now. Australia will have a penalty just inside the Junior Boks territory, or probably looking to kick to the corners, what they want to do. A couple of players just doing a couple of shuttles trying to keep warm. There'll have to be a replacement at the next scrum. So we're still having a break and play. Right, so the play is, I think, eventually up, and well, the stretch is up, and they're busy getting him off. So we'll be able to keep touch, be able to get things going now. Got to be accurate in these kind of conditions. Can't afford things like that, like a silly yellow card, a silly penalty to concede. But yeah, conditions on Sunshine Coast have been awful, 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 awful. So hopefully, next year's iteration of the Rugby Championship is played in significantly better weather. Oh, great. Go to a red card. Fantastic. You know, F's sakes. Idiots. Congratulations. You've just cocked the entire thing up. Down to 40 men for the rest of the game. You're given an opportunity. Super Rugby, that probably would only be a penalty, though. Ironically. Right, circa down to 40 men for the remainder of the game. So the worst possible start here. You're playing 60 minutes now with 40 men. They have won the penalty, though. Also take a big effort now. A very, very big effort. And he's really let his teammates down now. I mean, first of all, he's a prop, so someone's going to have to be sacrificed. So one of the other guys who's been given a chance, they're going to have to go off now permanently at the next scrum so they can bring on another prop. So you got to feel for them. But first opportunity now with ball in hand ready for South Africa. Tian Jacobs is a strong carry from the number 8. Need to receive a response here. Asad Moore's going on the left-hand side. Lorenzo Julius. The vice captain today, one of the exciting players in the squad. Decent carry from him. And turnover is good. So never mind. I'll take it all back. Now turnover ball to Australia. Now popping it up. Almost forward pass there. A bit of space down the left-hand side. Good tackle there. Jay van Heerden trying to get over that ball. Shirley. No, not awarded. Straight back on the front foot on the left-hand side. There's the replacement. For Dukes. Now a bit of space. 24 chips and chases. It goes into touch though, so it'll be a South African line out. Australia now playing with a lot of confidence. Conditions are perfect. Are you watching the game? How are conditions perfect? It's pissing with rain. It literally started raining in the last 10 minutes of the New Zealand game. They've got, I mean, it stopped raining now, but I mean, you just sit there and say conditions are perfect when you've been watching how much it's rained. Look how wet all the players are. So, I mean, yes, it's not as bad as last week, but to say conditions are perfect, I think you'd be quite far off the mark there. Perfect is what you see at Ellis Park on a Saturday evening at 5 o'clock. Right, so Klikani comes away with it. And turnover is good. Once again, breakdown work. Really, really poor from the baby Boks. Turnover boy here. It's a good. That's a great read. And good to pick up there from Lorenzo Julius. Then he loses it forward. Go back for the initial knock on. So it'll be a scrum for South Africa. And now we have to make the replacement. Have to bring on a loose head prop here. So here comes Nshanga. And the question is, who's sacrificed? Yeah, it was a good read there from Bester. Knock on coming initially from Frankie Goldsborough, and then the knock on coming from Lorenzo Julius on to the tackle from Wilcox. It was a good read there. Bester had to come forward quickly because obviously there isn't going to be a man advantage. Right, so TJ Russ was onto the park, and it's Devon Fuller who's been sacrificed, so that'll be the end of his game, unfortunately for him. Damon chipping in behind. And you'll see the kick back. Now he looks to try and run the fullback. We haven't seen too much of him so far this game. Ball available. Faniko helping out at scrum half. That's a nice solid carry. Ball available from Woos. That's a nice big carry. Much better momentum this from the Junior Boks. Couple of big carries coming here. And that's a good carry from Faniko. Getting away from one. Fighting hard in the tackle is the inside centre. Now Woos goes left-hand side. Jacobs, big tackle on him. Now good hands from Fanir. Ball over the top from Thurman Williams. Elite Bester can't gather it. I think it's gone forward and then out. But there was a penalty advantage anyway, so we'll go back for it. Right, so decision time here. I think they'll go to the corner here. Not ideal kicking conditions for to go to poles. Has been quite blustery. We'll see here from the kick where the wind is still blowing as hard as it was. Yeah, I think it is. You can just see it's taking it slightly backwards there. Strong carry this though from Faniko. Slightly lateral, but getting away from a couple of players. Nice physicality on display. Yeah, and that final pass. I think Bester probably needs to be a little bit further down the left-hand side, but wasn't the best pass to him as it was. From here, funneling it backwards. The Bester comes away. It's a good offload there from Julius now, and he loses it forward. Guys, come on. Can we just keep the basics going here? Now the counter attack coming from Australia. Kicking behind comes, and Damon's gone back. He's going to be under a lot of pressure here. Needs to pick it up, and almost a bit of a... it's been charged down. And thankfully, it's fallen in front of Tlekane. And then he's just caught on the ball. You know what? If you guys don't want to do the basics, you don't deserve to be in the game, to be honest. So it's holding on over there. And that's just the difference in the desire. You know, Tlekane busted the gut to get back. The rest of the junior box just decided they didn't need to. More Australians there. He's caught on the ball. Over they go. And now they're going to take the 3 points here. Julius here has to protect the ball better in contact. It's wet, guys. We played in wet last week. What do you learn from when it's wet? You've got to do the basics well. Keep the ball, both hands. All right, there we go. After 28 minutes, we have points, and Australia takes the lead. Oh, dear. Not been good here from the baby box. That's a nice check. I don't know what they'll start playing there. Now, drag him out. Drag him out. Joe, thank you. I don't know what you guys are complaining about. All the Australians players start playing, turn to the referee. No idea what they're complaining about. Right, better line up that. Ball available for Asan Mus. Goes short to Renner Herbst. Van Niekerk, strong carry from him. He's looking with ball in hand when he's an opportunity. Much better this from the junior box. Now Tlekane, he's been physical all tournament. That's another big carry from him. Much better this from the baby box. They're 2 meters short. Penny advantage as well. Hurst goes again. Just short. I think it's going to be held up. We'll go back for the penalty. Well, that was much better from the junior box. And you can see the rain coming down in what are these perfect conditions. Yeah, I mean, that's horrendous. It is bucketing down. Bester from the quick tap here. Surely that's not rolling away. Surely that's not rolling away. Ball eventually available. Now a bit of a change. Jakob's just short. Pick up and go from Hurst. Just needs to recycle that now. So he's short already. Japin here looking to pick up and go. He's over, but I think the referee's on the wrong side to be able to see. Balls eventually come back. Jakobs wants to go again. Good defense so far here. Julius just short. Pick up and go once again. He's over. Yeah, I was about to say, it was coming in from the assistant referee. There was a try. We are over. Much better. There it is. There's the physicality we talked about that we've lacked so far in the early stages. That's much, much better. The last 5 minutes passage of play was so much better. And that's just simple rugby, to be honest. It's pretty barbaric, but it's simple. And we've got the better pack here. We've got the bigger pack here. So use it. So JF Van Heerden goes over, the captain for today. Thurman Williams as the extra. So 7 points to 3. Hopefully the first of a few tries to come. But again, that was just things people. It was just ball retention and physicality. It's wet conditions, guys. Keep it simple. You guys are gonna have the physicality. Look at the likes of a JF Van Heerden. Looking at the replay here. You look at the size of Flakani, and we're a much bigger side, much bigger pack. So use that physicality. Keep it simple. Keep ball in hand, and just use the physicality. Right, so that's and marked off the kickoff, which you can do as part of the rules here. I think that's what Australia was calling earlier, but the man didn't call the mark. So Joshua Bull, they're very clear that he did call the mark under the kickoff. So as part of the tournament rules, that if you do kick off into the 22, the opposition team can mark it. Basically trying to like encourage teams to go a bit shorter and try and make competitive. Good tackle that coming on Leah. No, that's a gap. And now it's a big overlap here. He's going all the way, slips inside. Good covering defense there. And big counter react now. Junior Boks under a lot of pressure here. And they're almost over here. In fact, they are over here. That is woeful defense. Woeful defense. You cannot pick and go from 5 meters out and get that drive. After just demonstrating physicality, to have the fullback, one of the smallest players in the field, be carried over the line by a couple players like that is awful defense. You got to get the man down there. I don't know who's making the tackle here. Very upright, but you're going to bring him down. You can see he's trying to hold him up. Well, mate, you held him up and he went over. As far as decisions go, the decision to try and hold up a man who's got 2 men behind him to drive him forward is a very strange one. Right, so Australia hit back, take the lead, 10 points to 7 with just under 4 minutes to go. Thurman Williams will go short here. It will be competitive. It's a good kickoff and one back by the baby Boks. And Tlakani comes away with it. Need to respond here, do South Africa. Remind they are down to 14 men. And another knock on. Guys, the handling area, I think for both teams have been poor, but you've got to be better when it comes to handling. You guys, you know it's wet. You've got to work harder. That's what I'm getting really frustrated about. Is that there seems to be no adjustment to the conditions. Everybody's just carrying in sort of as they would normally, and no respect to the fact that it is wet and that things are tricky. And it's the placement prop forward there, and Shanga, who made that mistake. That's one gone down there. Scrum's been pretty messy, as you can probably imagine. We have a reset here. 2.5 minutes left on the clock. And on the right-hand side, Australia go to the boot there. But with the charge down, falls back to Australia. And that's not a great kick at all. So it'll be a South African line at just about 10 minutes before the 22. That's well worked. Good effort there. That's a good charge down. So an opportunity now for the Junior Boks. Now Bester over the top. It's not a good lineup, but it's been picked up in the midfield. So in the end, it's worked out all right. But then, as expected, no breakdown, support, and penalty for Australia. Basics letting South Africa down throughout this entire game. A massive rolling more. Yeah, the Australia rolling more has been very good today. And penalty advantage here as well. So as the clock goes red, they go on the left-hand side, standing for, he loses it forward. And they'll go back for the penalty. Interesting decision to come here from Australia. Do they take the 3 points to go for the corner? They got a 3-point lead. Halftime Hooter has gone. And I think that they'll take the points here. Love to see the hand here stats. And he's missed the kick there. So halftime, we're 10 points to 7. South Africa also trailed New Zealand last week at halftime. So not a massive training smash, but not the best half coming there from the Junior Boks. Going to have to be a lot better come the second half. We're going to move to a bit of a break. We'll see you guys shortly after the break. Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. And we will see you guys in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, just in terms of the game, just frustrating, I think, because should never have been this, you know, this far behind. And, well, not, only 2 points behind. But in terms of the game, we've been nowhere, really. Got to go back to the basics. Got to be a lot better. Got to be more accurate. And, yeah, it doesn't help that, you know, we now got down to 40 men for the rest of the game. So that's going to be a huge adjustment that the Junior Boks have to make. But, yeah, I suppose this is kind of where you see the measure and the fight of the youngsters. So big opportunity for them to try and win a game against some adverse circumstances. But they have to be much better in the second half if they are to do that. And I'll see you guys in just a bit.
Hello, everybody, back with Bill Skoltz and Stevie P. We are covering the world of sport, the highs, the lows, all the stories that you need to hear for the last week. Stevie P, how are you doing, kind sir?
Yeah, you know, it's a tough time out here, Dan. It's public holiday tomorrow. I've got a 7:45 tee off. So it's a
Would be
bit of a midweek, bit of a midweek break. So it's I think today you've almost hit the record high for the hottest 30th of April we've ever had in the country. So it's a tough life we're living down here in SA, but we're grinding through.
To be fair, today has probably been the hottest day of the year in the UK, and it hit a soaring 18 degrees. So we're both winning, It's some on different scales than others, but I'd say we're both winning. And unfortunately, I'm not winning in the golf department because I'm absolutely not playing golf tomorrow morning and not having a holiday.
And our teams aren't exactly doing very well at the moment. Well, my teams, both of our teams are not doing very well. So we're not winning, off the pitch there. On the pitch with the guys at professional sports. And so our individual sports careers will have to carry us through.
Yeah, it's been a tough month from the perspective of us as supporters. Actually running my first ever marathon this weekend. So hopefully the athletes in me, I don't know, somewhere dark and deep down might present itself this weekend. And
so do we dare ask for are there goals, or is it just finishing now?
Start to finish, brother. Start to finish
sub 3, try and look for that.
No, we're hiking Everest this weekend. Right?
Is it a trail or is it a road?
Yeah, it's a trail up the Welsh mountains.
A trail 42.
Gonna go find some dragons up there at altitude. But Stevie, that's not what people want to hear about. They want to hear about how the predictions were last week. And the big story was that last week I managed to turn it around finally. I believe the score is 8-3 now, having just kind of got the tide to turn. And there are 3 different fixtures that we bet on every single week, and we see who is more correct. Stevie is giving me the thumping of my life, but I've just recently won. So let's get through what we bet on last week. First match, Lions versus Munster. Oof, tough one to watch as a Lions fan. Stevie, your prediction was was Lions by 5. Mine was Munster by 3. Result 33-13 to the men. Yeah, sure.
About 5 minutes.
Yeah. So a resounding win for Munster, massively successful for them in South Africa.
Can I just say, I think that these last 2 games, for me, surely have to put them as, I wouldn't say favourites whilst you got a Leinster, but I'll tell you what, they're looking hard to beat.
The only thing that's not putting them in favourite is their actual league position, because they may not have a home city. But 100% form, they've struck form at the perfect time. Second match, Stevie, and I don't think I've ever got a Stormers prediction correct, but Stormers versus Leinster, as predicted, Leinster was a bit of a weakened squad, and I didn't think Stormers would bounce back as they did. Stormers winning that game 42 points to 12. It was on a 30-point win, and my prediction was Stormers only by 7. Yours was Stormers by 12. Again, not very close, but Stevie, you took that one home and drawing it up at 1-1. And our final match of the weekend, Spurs versus Arsenal North London derby. A lot to play for, Premier League, top 4, both teams wanting to kind of derail the other one. That game ended 3-2 with to Arsenal. Obviously, Arsenal going 3-0 ahead, Spurs back.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it was getting a bit dicey at the stage for Arsenal.
Very dicey. I think no one was more happy than David Raya to make sure that game got wrapped up, because he was the reason that they even let Spurs back into that game. Stevie, your prediction was 2-1 Spurs and mine was 2-2. So closer than yourself. So I'm back. It's 8-4. I've halved the deficit.
Half the deficit in 2 rounds. Yeah,
you're talking momentum. Tomorrow is May, and I'll be taking the momentum into May.
So the question is, Dan, what's the real marathon? What you running on Sunday, or this comeback in a prediction game?
I mean, this one feels longer. I might have different opinions.
This one feels more understandable. Bring on the mountain.
Yeah, this is a bigger mountain to climb. But Stevie, you mentioned Munster and the talk of URC. Let's get into last week's result, because geez, I mean, you feel like you have a grasp of which way this top 8 is going to go, and then week on week it just turns itself on its head. And
I think if you were to look at my thumbnails for my weekly URC review, you'd think I didn't know what was bottom.
Yeah.
Because every week it's like Lions up for the top 8, then it's like have Lions bottle top 8, like Bulls back, then it's like Bulls going downhill, the Stormers on the downward trajectory, putting 40 points against Leicester. So it's the most ridiculous URC season.
Yeah, I mean, literally Ospreys having gone and beaten Stormers last week, everyone kind of, bigging them up in the conversation, and now all of a sudden dropped down to 10th after taking a big L to the Bulls. But let's quickly cover some of those fixtures. A massive win for Ulster, 38 points to 34 with Benetton. Again, both teams in that top 4 race. Ulster having a horror season off the pitch, managing to kind of keep it going on the pitch, to be fair, and you've got to give the players a lot of credit for that, trying just to kind of put that behind them.
Just really trying to drag themselves through it, aren't they? I mean, if they can get that top 8, then talk about salvaging a disaster season.
Yeah, no, it'll be massive for them. I mean, anything in the top 8, I think, honestly, impressive, especially just with how spread out and how big the competition has been. Big win for Sharks, who played mostly a first team against the Scarlet.
And we're never really in the driving seat. It was a bit of a weird game. Had to keep sort of coming into it, keep kind of sort of seeing them off. I was impressed by Scarlets.
I thought, to be fair, I think the Sharks let them in at the end there. They should never, Charlotte scoring like 2 minutes from time and almost having a crack at the final whistle for the line, but not to be. Our boy Sia Musuku pulling strings, 3 MOMs in a row, Bernard Clark hat-trick. He's been playing some really good rugby, to be fair, recently. Speaking of Ulster, he'll be there next season.
I'd say part of the rebuild.
Glasgow Warriors now lead top of the table with their 40 points.
With space,
With a bit of space. I mean, yes, they're paying for not sending any teams. I mean, I don't think they'll be worried too much. They'll probably end on top in any case.
Because Glasgow Warriors have come down to Ellis Park, so they're definitely losing at least one game in the last 3.
But it's nice to see, to be fair, Scottish side that's not just the table. I mean, Edinburgh, I think they're quite hot and cold. But I think it's nice to have at least a team from each country representing. And we've seen Benetton represent, obviously Italy. We haven't quite found our Welsh representation or spearhead yet, but the other fixtures were obviously, as we mentioned, Munster 33 points to 13, Connacht 34 points to 27 versus the Drags, who almost caught a bit of
that could have been a massive result. For me as a Lions fan, I was monitoring that, because when I thought that there could have been a chance for Dragons to put up a bit of a result there, it could have been big.
Yeah. And then Edinburgh 24 points to 7, Stormers 42 points to 12. Phoebe, walk us through this top 8 battle. What are you seeing there?
Well, there's a bit more space now. If you go back at one stage, it was like 5th through to 11th, were separated by like 2-3 points. There's a bit more space now when you think the Lions are now 4 points behind, 5 points behind 8th. So there is a bit of space, but because a lot of these teams are playing against each other, there's maybe not as much space as you think, because the Lions are playing against a Cardiff and the Glasgow Warriors, so they're not playing against anybody sort of in and amongst their that fight, but a lot of them are. So, and Edinburgh goes and beats an Ulster, for example, or vice versa, and all of a sudden, there's lots of these teams will be dropping points in the next 2-3 weeks. So, I think, as a Lions fan, for example, down, not out there. I think, 2-3 more wins, I think, does get them top 8. I do see a couple of these teams dropping points, but it's one of those things now where bonus points are going to come into it. Lions are paying the price for not getting enough wins, because, for example, they don't go to points difference, they go number of wins. So Lions have been 11th, despite being level on points with 2 to 3 teams the last couple of weeks, purely on number of wins. So it's interesting how that could actually play a bit of a role. Bulls, however, they've kind of managed to get themselves back into that purely top 4 race, putting 6 points behind between them and the Stormers.
And I don't think the top 4 I don't think anyone will move in and out of that top 4. I think it still might shuffle around. Maybe Leinster, Munster could even flip around. Glasgow might not finish top. I feel like Bulls will probably stick around there, but it's really that 5 to 8 that's the big one. I have faith now in the Stormers. I think sitting on 45 points, to be fair, 8th is only on 44. As you said, there are those head-to-head battles that's really going to tie it up. I mean, you kind of need to be drawing for a couple draws almost in the upcoming weeks. If you look at like a game, even like it's called Edinburgh versus Ebre. No, Lions, Cardiff, that's going to be massive for you. I'm actually looking, there aren't that, next week at least, there aren't that many that's in that top 8 battle next week.
The last 2 weeks are very...
Yeah.
But the thing is, but if you look, for example, if you look at the top 8, some of the guys who are in the top 8 have some big clashes. So, for example, Bulls versus Glasgow, for example, is not a massive game. But Edinburgh, I'm looking at Sharks Benton, for example. In theory, you look at the log position and think it's a pretty straightforward game. If the Sharks are out of the Challenge Cup, for example, then they could play a first team there. And it's tough for the Benton to come down and get a result there. Munster looking for top spot. They got Connacht.
And then
Leinster Ospreys, so a lot of, for example, you could be seeing Benton, Connacht, Ospreys all dropping points there. And Lions beating Cardiff suddenly puts them back in amongst the Pigeons.
Big one. Also, final weekend is going to be Benetton, Edinburgh. Almost certainly going to be kind of a winner takes all type of endeavour. And not to mention kind of the Munster Ulster one, which will be Munster looking to get kind of probably a home semi versus Ulster looking to qualify. So we love a bit of jeopardy here on the show, Stevie. We do love a bit of jeopardy, and this is.
I think that's going to be what's so exciting is that these last 3 weeks mean a lot to all 8 teams.
Yeah,
the top 4 is not done. First is not done. 7 to 8. There are 11 teams out of 16 who are fighting tooth and nail for every last point.
Yeah.
Previously, I think the top 8's been relatively sorted, maybe 8 or 9, and then we're kind of just seeing what's going on between the sort of the top 2.
Agreed. And to be fair to like the Scarlets and Dragons, they're still putting up fights. It's not like they've just packed the season.
They're not walkovers, yeah.
The Sharks still need to stay on top. They want to obviously win the Challenge Cup, knowing that qualification for the USC is out of the picture. But, to keep that winning momentum is crucial for them. So that's, I think, a good segue, to be fair, to what is happening this weekend. The Stoop is becoming the Stoop. In London, as Sharks are technically hosting Clermont in the semi-finals of the Challenge Cup, as Gloucester host Benetton. Gloucester not having the best year in the Premiership, so they've done well really to get to this stage. How are you seeing these games going, Stevie?
Well, I think it's a lot of teams who, as you mentioned, there's not a lot for them league-wise, so it's such a big opportunity for them to get something out of the season. This is their last. Sharks, they can win all 3 games in a row with bonus points when it comes to the URC, and they still will not touch 8th. They'll still be 4 points behind. So there's nothing for them left in the URC. Yeah. But there's a Champions Cup spot at the end of that Challenge Cup. You look at a Benson, for example, they're fighting, and this potentially could not make the top 8. They might be outside the Champions Cup next season, but there's a Challenge Cup in 2 victories' time. So for me, that I think is what's so exciting about the Challenge Cup games, is that there's so much to play for. I mean, obviously your Champions Cup, all these teams, Toulouse, Leinster, Northampton, all looking to try and win their local leagues. Yeah. But the Champions Cup is the coveted cup. The Challenge Cup, some people might not rate, but for all the teams currently in it, it's such a big deal for them.
Absolutely. I mean, the highest position is Benetton out of those 4 left, and they're in 8th. Sharks in 13th, obviously out of kind of 16. And then Gloucester 9th out of 10, and Clermont are 10th in the top 14. So, kind of this is for a lot of them, other than Benetton, the rest of them don't have actually that much to play for. This is it. So it'll be interesting to see how Benetton manage that. They do have a decent squad, at least, but I'm really excited for the Sharks. I think, I don't know, do you agree that most South African fans are supporting the Sharks? Should we? I'm so conflicted. I've never.
Yeah, I know.
Because I've never.
You know what my problem is?
Bulls to win Super Rugby, but now I feel some sort of affinity. I don't know. I think if it was any other South African side, my biggest problem is that the Sharks team does not deserve the Challenge Cup if they do it. And I think that's going to really piss me off. If I'm a Lions fan and you look at the season we have, and for example, we finished 9th in the URC, or flipping God forbid, we finished 8th
they win the Challenge Cup, which means they take the 8th position of the URC, for example. So then the Lions wouldn't make the Champions Cup, and they sit there going, "Oh, well, we're in the Champions Cup and we got a trophy." And I'm like, "But you were so poor the entire season. Now you're gonna walk away with silverware? Like, how dare you?" It's a bit like if United burgle an FA Cup, It's just like, it's like, no, you can't just do that.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, if they do win it, I think we can call Sia Masuku straight up to the Springbok camp and secure his spot in the number 10 jersey for the 2020.
Look, you can basically retire Andre Pollard, because Mr. Clutch has already stepped in, and you can just tell Pollard to enjoy his retirement, go sip some cocktails. You've given us everything you needed to give us. We're sorted.
That redemption arc has been insane, and we've been waiting for it. We've been calling for it, and I mean, to be fair, Sharks are showing signs of what they could be, and next season there could be trouble.
I think the emergence of Vincent Koch is going a little bit under the radar in terms of similar time to Masuku. All of a sudden, the scrum sorted itself out with Bongi, Ox, Vincent Koch, and then you're going attacking fly off, playing behind a working set piece. And a dominant scrum. So the stars have aligned for the Sharks.
Well, for now.
I think to be fair, the big reason at the moment that we feel South African teams we want them to win is because at the moment we're dealing with so much criticism about being involved in Europe. There was never anybody, at least during Super Rugby, where there was, the Kiwis weren't sitting there saying, "Well, actually, it would be quite cool if you guys weren't here." It was only in that last sort of COVID times where all of a sudden they were like, "We actually don't need you," and then we're like, "Okay, cheers," and they're like, "Oh shit, we actually need you." Whereas I think at the moment there is a lot of animosity from mainly the English fans. To be honest, the Irish fans love us. That's something I've picked up quite a lot.
And they tour incredibly well. You have to take a hat off to the Leinster and Munster fans. They come to
Munster fans. They're proper. I think you'd see more from Leinster if they send a better team. But that Munster travel support, there's a good support at Bulls, good support at Ellis Park. And I was reading a really nice comment on the channel, and it says, as a Munster fan, I'm loving the contact. I'm actually loving it. We're enjoying having the South African teams in the URC. It said it's a cool brand.